there are a lot of times that we have to go through what we grow through. So when does it come for yourself that you feel like there were times in your life you had to go through it to get to it? What did that mean to you?
I could just say this one right here. Just being in a relationship.
Okay.
Being in a relationship with a woman. Being in a relationship at a young age, not really understanding red flags, green flags, understanding like the placement that you're supposed to be in a relationship and how to feed a relationship and groom and grow a relationship. So, at a young age, you do everything wrong, heartbreak, sadness, some crying days, some rainy days, and really just figuring it out, like, what did I do wrong? How did I play a role in this dismantle of a collective bargain, of a connectivity to another person? How did I, pretty much end it?
Okay.
So, I went back to the drawing boards. I dissected myself. Now I have become a living testimony. And I know that, the things that you look for in another person and how to, maintain balance, compromise.
Yeah.
And, ultimately, as a man, lead and guide, you know what I'm saying, to make sure I'm making the conscious decisions for not just me, but for another person as well. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, in the beginning, as a young age, I didn't have that. I didn't get it. So, it was bad. It was up and down, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't really
roller
consistent.
coaster.
Roller coaster, emotional roller coaster. And now as a man, I know exactly what I'm looking for and exactly what I need to do and how to make sure that it lasts as long as we need it to last, or forever, ultimately.
Okay.
So.
But now you're saying you couldn't get to it unless you went through it.
Correct.
Okay. You had to have gone through it.
I had to,
okay.
Bro. I was raised by mom in the household. My dad was in my life too, but in the household, my mom. So you don't but you don't truly know because it's not there. It's not shown every day. That's not what to blame on.
Okay.
When you go through life, you got to make these decisions on your own. I feel like experience is the highest form of education. So when you're making these decisions on your own, you need to dissect what's going on.
Yeah.
Maybe you might not know what's happening until it's over with. But once you go through it, and if it happens again, in progress of whatever is being about to occur, you're able to this is not it.
Right.
I need to stop this now, slow this down. We need to have a talk.
Okay.
And so I wouldn't be able to have that, that view on things unless I have experienced what I experienced at an early age.
Okay, so your experiences gave you that perception. It gave you that view that you now have. Now that you can reflect, you can connect the dots.
Yeah.
You can see, what you got when you connect the dots. It's like, it sounds also like you were able to take ownership.
Correct.
You were able to, not play the blame game and, play the guilt and the shame game, but you were able to be accountable.
Yes.
And say, you know what, I take ownership, I accept this. Now I'm going back to the drawing board. Let's regroup, let's recoup, and now moving forward,
Correct.
Let's do different.
Correct. Accountability plays a big role in, understanding what's happening to where you can take this as a learning lesson. It's not just a loss. You don't want to just live life with losses because you derive nothing from it.
Right.
So when you take it as a learning lesson and you're accountable for your actions, when it can occur or when you go into other situations, you don't even allow it to build up to that point. You know what I'm saying? You're able to focus in, know that these are the steps that you don't take, and these steps that you have to take in order for this to work.
Okay.
It's kind of like doing a science project, right? You know what I'm saying? You have trial and error, right? It might explode in your face. You know what I'm saying? You might mix something wrong and it might not stand, but then once you get it right, you know what I'm saying, you're able to present it.
Once you got the formula,
you can do your presentation.
Okay, I like
present it to the class.
There you go.
You got everything ready. You know what I'm saying? You got 3 weeks before this project is due.
Right.
And so you go through 3 weeks of trial and tribulation, ups and downs, imbalances. You might even feel like you want to quit at times.
True.
But you got a test.
Right.
You got this test.
Right.
So you present it. So and you pass. That's something like who you are as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You go through trial and error in life. You know what I'm saying? And once you master who you are, you're able to present yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to host a relationship. Maybe you want to lead a congregation. Maybe you want to place yourself in a position of leadership. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to go through it, man.
Yeah.
You got to know what's going on, and I know you know too.
I like what you said about mastery because, you know, it reminds me, going through it to get to it. They say the only difference between the beginner and the master is the master has failed more times than the beginner has tried.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And it's like just over and over and over again, the master is always a student. The master realizes they have to go through it to get to it.
Correct.
You know, so they don't avoid the loss. They
Yeah.
treat it as a learning.
Learning lesson.
You know,
And
there's a blessing.
We're constantly learning every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you constantly building it to yourself and adding to your, you know what I'm saying, your entity every day.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if you're not taking those as, you know, small learning lessons, then you're just waking up and going to sleep.
Right. True. True.
Waking up and going to sleep. You gotta
True.
learn, and you gotta, you know, man. I learn all the time, man. Like it be situations you're like, dang, I should never said that. But dang, if I never said that, I would never know what not to say.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, that's one of the things I respect about you, brother, because, you know, there are some people that might be intimidated thinking that they're gonna lose in a chess game. But you won't be intimidated. You see this as like, oh, I'm gonna get you somehow.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
There's just something that I need to figure it out.
Yeah.
But he understands intuitively. You understand that you have to go through it to get to it.
Yeah, correct.
So we be playing over and over again, back to back, game after game. You know what I'm saying? And each time you get closer. Each time you get closer, because you don't see the loss as a loss.
Nah, not at all.
You realize that, oh no, this is the price that I'm paying for. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, this free personal training, man.
Yeah.
I'm in PPT, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I gotta learn, you know, you gotta rep it out. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I don't care if you beat me 100 times. You know what I'm saying? Once I get to that point where I can become successful, then I know that, you know what I'm saying, I'm ready.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We just working on and building and adding to our entity.
Right.
You know?
Right. Exactly. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
just take this message with you. Realize that, you know, there may be rainy days, but it doesn't mean that, you know, the sun isn't there beyond the clouds.
Yeah.
It's still there. But you got to go through it to get to it.
Correct.
You know,
Hey, blessings.
much love.
Peace, love, light.